What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shaquanda, and I'm trying to get into this YouTube thing. I blog on Facebook majority of the time, but I'm trying to get my YouTube page up. I am a author. I actually have 3 books on Amazon. The first book that I have is a lottery book because I was really into numbers. My second book was about my life. I am actually a domestic violence survivor. I almost lost my life. I was dealing with a guy, and he was a narcissist. He was very narcissistic. I was very, very vulnerable at the time when I met him. So it's like I just accepted anything during that time period that we was together. It was actually during this time of year. It happened 2 years ago. We actually met like 2 years ago in August, and we started vibing and we started talking. And like I said, I was vulnerable. I was tired of being alone, and I just wanted to get out and explore. So I was sitting at the store one night and I was playing my numbers, and he approached me. And that approach led to us talking daily, meeting up, seeing each other, then actually ended up engaging into sex, and it just went from there. So he was very, what is the word that I want to use? He was jealous. He was very jealous. He didn't want me to talk to other guys, as in even speaking. The way my shirt is right now, he would have a problem with that. It's like every little thing he had a problem with. So one night, one day we ended up going to Virginia because he had some family members that had passed. So we ended up going to Virginia because his aunt had passed and they was having her viewing that day. So I went. The energy was off that day. He was real evil. He was always evil. He was actually on drugs. So we got back in town, and he sat down and he went through my phone. I have a best friend, and he's a male, and it's crazy because my best friend was telling me, like, I was telling him how this guy was, and my best friend was telling me, like, leave him alone. Not only did my best friend tell me to leave him alone, my mother also told me to leave him alone. Me and my mom bumped heads like 24/7 because she did not like him, and my mother picked up on spirits. I knew this guy wasn't the one for me. Like I said, I was vulnerable at the time, so I was just accepting anything. It's like I didn't even love myself. So that night, he went through my phone and he seen the texts, and he was like, well, who was that? And I said, it's my best friend. He was like, why is this dude talking about me? I said, he's not talking about you, but he's telling me that I need to leave you alone. So he ended up getting a phone call, and he ended up leaving. So when he came back, he called me and he told me to come outside. Mind you, I knew he was already drunk because he had been drinking too. So I was like, nah, you can come in. I'm glad I told him to come in, because if I would have went outside, you never know what would have happened. So he ended up coming back in. As soon as he came in, he knocked me up against the dresser. Mind you, my kids was in the next room and my mother was in the living room, and they didn't hear anything. So he knocked me up against the dresser and he started fussing at me, and he started pulling my hair and just being really mean to me. And I started hyperventilating because he ended up pulling out a gun. And when he pulled the gun out, he buried it in my chest. He buried it in my chest for like 20 minutes. And he said, you think I'm playing? I told you not to play with me. You know, I'm not a joke. It's not a game. And so I was hyperventilating. I was really scared. Nobody had never pulled a gun out on me. So I was just begging him, like, please stop. Like, you're scaring me. Like, I was hyperventilating to the point where I wanted to call 911 and I wanted to go to the hospital. That's how bad I was hyperventilating. And he was like, no. And then he would pause for a minute, and then he would hug me and he would tell me that he loved me. And then he ended up putting the gun to my head. This is a night that I will never, ever forget. So I have dealt with a narcissist, and this was my first time dealing with a narcissist. So I ended up writing a book about it. I actually have 3 books out. I ended up just writing a book about my life and what I go through and why I always chose the wrong man. So follow me for more. Hit that subscribe button.